so I'm quite sick and apparently caught the flu or something on top of that. And therefore my voice is just uninstalling itself right now. So today and for the next week or so, you will hear the AI voice from my AI channel. If you like the voice and had always problems understanding my thick accent, well, go check out her channel. And if you don't want to hear any AI voices, just wait a week until I have recovered. And with that said, we will start the video.
Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Siglinde, your temporary host, and today I will take a look at what the various floor guardians did in their spare time. But before we go on to take a closer look at all of this, let me quickly thank my patrons for supporting this channel and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's take a closer look at the topic at hand. With Shalltear, the question is less about what she has done, because thanks to Rankino, she had many, many possibilities and interests, but rather about who helped her to pursue them, namely, the two vampire brides she controls, and of course whoever still piques her interest on the first, second, and third levels. And since she takes after Rankino, this is pretty much it. Moving on to the floor guardian with the highest stat values, namely the tactical siege golem gargantua. As a living siege weapon without its own will, this floor guardian has no hobbies to pursue in its spare time. On the contrary, it usually rests motionless at the bottom of the deep sea on the 4th level. And with that said, we will go to the 5th level, and cocytus is much more interesting and a bit more complex than doing nothing and doing everyone available. The noble guardian, created by warrior Takemikazuchi, has various hobbies. Firstly, he is knowledgeable about every weapon in the Great Tomb, and I'm talking about swords, axes, and the like, not things like gargantua. This means that similar to Ains, he has an interest in rare and remarkable weapons, and new weapons in the New World catch his interest. Secondly, he collects worthy warriors both in the figurative sense, as seen with the lizardmen he saved and who are now under his command, and in the literal sense, as he froze Brian Unglaus into a statue, which is now standing in his palace, the so-called Snowball Earth. But that's still not all, because cocytus, the noble warrior, gets along quite well with demiurge. Both are known to, after finishing their work, enjoy a quiet drink together in high-class establishments and take in the atmosphere. Not thanks to Ains's encouragement, he has also taken it upon himself to learn more about the world and about tactics, strategy, and many other things to expand his own knowledge. As mentioned in other videos, cocytus is one of the most interesting and complex floor guardians, which is excellently demonstrated here. Moving on to the twin floor guardians of the 6th level of Nazarick, and we will start with Aura. For her, it's almost a hobby to boss Mare around. Besides that, she, just like her creator Bukubuku Chagama, has a sweet tooth and likes good food. But above all, as a beast tamer, she lives for her creatures. She plays with them, pets them, and she breaks the will of newcomers in a brutal manner, as seen, for example, in the 14th volume when Aura captured a cuddly bear. Mare, on the other hand, is, according to his nature, gentler, and the young man loves to read. You could see him in the 8th volume of Overlord returning a borrowed book to the forbidden library of Ashurbanipal, and in return, getting a new book recommended by one of the librarians. I should also mention that Ashurbanipal contains an enormous collection of copyright-free books from the Old World. This makes sense because, on the one hand, securing text files costs very little bandwidth and storage space, and on the other hand, in the year 2138, the collection of public domain books is even larger than it is at the current time. In other words, Mare will have plenty to read for a long time. Moving on to demiurge, the sinister demon, like cocytus, occasionally comes to a noble bar to quietly enjoy a drink and absorb the calm and noble atmosphere. And I don't know about you, but I appreciate this low-key bromance between the two. In addition, demiurge has another very down-to-earth hobby. As the ruler of the 7th level, he loves being on the countryside, taking care of his animals, and working on his happy farm. And here he shears the wool off his bipedal sheep and processes the raw materials further. Don't get me wrong. Of course, he doesn't do it alone, and his personal work isn't necessary for the happy farm to remain productive, but demiurge simply loves losing himself in these simple activities. Demiurge also takes care of the social structure of his herd, And when it comes to medical matters, such as encouraging offspring between two different species that are normally not compatible, he moves heaven and earth to pave the way for love, a rather down-to-earth guy, especially for one in such a high position. And now we come to the last floor guardian, namely Victim. Unfortunately, we still don't know what the unborn angel actually does in his spare time. However, since his profession literally is to be a living sacrifice, as the name Victim already suggests, being alive and enjoying it might be a reasonably rough description of his leisure time. And now we come to the leader of the floor guardians, Albedo. As you probably already know, she is deeply in love with Ains, and accordingly her hobbies are also somewhat unhealthy, focusing solely on Ains. For example, she enjoys spending time in the overlord's bed and has an entire room full of Ains plush dolls, and even a special pillow for very special nights. And then she likely plans to destroy the Great Tomb, again just for getting together with Ains. I also want to mention Pandora's actor, the de facto son of Ains Ul Gaun, because his hobby is taking care of the many items in the treasury and polishing them. This is something that really ruins his day if he can't do it, as you can see in the 10th volume during the conversation with Ains Ul Gaun, who then naturally allowed him to visit the treasury and take care of all the items. And with that, this is it for today. Please leave your thoughts and comments down below, and while you type, I say thank you very much for watching, and special thanks to _Arter_Dottie_Arter ask, Bad Guy Bad Burrito 316, Beezier, Ben C, Brendan D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, C_Y_A_, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragon Lord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragon Lord Placidus Axophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler, Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia 2, Enigmatic_Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with a Hat, Hector Moreno, Haas, Hustur, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason Singage, Gemaurice, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee Kai Long, Legendarius, Lelouch V Britannia Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikienrai, Lord Touch Me, Lothrazar, Maravech, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Patty Pantom, Personage, Primus 11, Rinamir, Q Nakarkos P, Shargox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rack Edsmasha, The Evang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Zenokai, Zonagun,